Hey everybody, welcome back to my fitness drive. I'm TJ, your personal trainer in training, and today we're going to be going over some side swings. So let's get right into it. Alright, so before we begin, this video is only going to consider the basic jump. So if you're not familiar on how to do the basic jump or the basic techniques that we cover doing the basic jump, please go back and watch that video. I'll make sure I include a copy of that link to that video in the description below. And yeah, so the side swing is really just going to be mostly about our arm movement, so we really won't need to focus on any fancy footwork. So let's begin. Alright, so the cool thing about practicing the side swings is that you really don't even have to jump. We'll incorporate the jumps when we get the hang of what our arms will be doing, but for now, we're just going to focus on what our arms will be doing. So a side swing, just to demonstrate what that looks like, it's literally, you're just taking your rope and swinging it side to side, okay? That's all we're going to be doing. Now, with your side swing, your arms, so just forgetting the rope for a second, you're going to be taking, one arm is always going to be on top, the other arm is always going to be on bottom. And they're both going to be going in unison. So with my top arm, I'm kind of going in a figure 8 motion, left to right, left to right. And as you can see, my wrist is demonstrating that. My bottom hand is kind of doing the same thing, just at a slower cadence, and it's not coming out as far left and as far right as my right hand. So your top hand is going to be your guiding arm, okay? So with the rope, as you can see, my right hand is going in the figure 8 motion. It's deviating more to the left and to the right than my bottom hand is, okay? So I'm not quite going at the same deviation, right? My top hand is really guiding the rope. My left hand is just kind of following suit, okay? Now, the other thing with this is that my torso isn't twisting as I'm doing this, okay? My torso stays straight. It's just literally my arms that are going left to right to left to right. And that's it when it comes to the side swing. Once you get used to one side, then switch. The opposite hand should now be on top. The bottom hand, or the one that was on top, should now be on bottom, okay? So as you can see, my right hand is just kind of following suit with my left, and it's not deviating, right? It's not going as far left as far right as my top hand is. It's just kind of following suit with my left hand being the hand that's guiding the rope, okay? And that's really all that it is. It's going to take a little bit of practice for it to start feeling natural. And you're going to be, especially when you're starting off, you're going to have one side that's better than the other. Like for me, I perform the side swing better with my right than I do with my left being dominant. But, you know, you still want to make sure you practice each side. As you become more familiar with it, you want to start incorporating speed. So, you know, we're going at one set cadence, and now we're kind of picking up the speed, okay? So we want to make sure that as you become familiar with the movement, you start incorporating the speed, because you're going to put that into your jump rope, right? You're not going to be jumping at one set cadence, okay? So just make sure you practice, make sure it starts to feel natural, and then start picking up the speed once it starts to feel familiar to your body. All right, so now that we've practiced a bit, the next part of it is to incorporate our jumps. So how do we start incorporating our jumps? I guess before we get to that point, we should practice toe catches. So what a toe catch is literally you're catching the rope with your toes, and that is it, okay? So when we're talking about incorporating a side swing into a jump, we want to make sure that we practice toe catching. Why? Because you're gonna be in a position where you're ready to jump the rope by making sure your arms are in the proper position when the rope comes across your body. Okay? So let's get into our side swing here. Now, you might be wondering, when's the right time to open the rope? Okay? So watch closely as my arms are moving, right? As you can see, when my right arm, which is my top hand, as this is going to my left, my arms are crossed. So starting out, you don't want to try to clear the rope while your arms are crossed, okay? So you see, it naturally opens up as my right hand or my top hand is coming back to my right. Okay, so it's crossed, it's open, crossed, open, crossed, open. So when's the proper time? When the rope opens up. Okay, so in this case, since my right hand is on top, it's going to be when my right hand comes back to my right side. And that's going to be your opportunity to practice your toe catches. So open, catch, okay? Swing, we're crossed, open, cross, open, cross, open, and catch, okay? And all you're doing when you're practicing your toe catches is literally you're lifting your heels up as the rope comes underneath your feet, and you're just firmly placing them back down to catch the rope. You just want to make sure you get used to finding, one, that cadence, two, making sure that you're properly executing the side swing into your opens, and then three, making sure you're timing that toe catch. Once this starts to feel good to you, then it's just a matter of jumping the rope. So instead of catching the rope, we're clearing the rope. Just like that. Okay? So swing, 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 open, swing, open, swing, open, swing, jump. Okay? And then you practice that a few times and it starts to feel familiar to you, right? You're just able to keep doing it consistently because now, as I say that, because now you're used to when the rope opens up, okay? And that's it. As you become familiar with your side swings, then you can just get really good with it, right? You can start doing high knees, side swings. You can do a few jumps into your side swings and opens. So let's say we do some high knees and we break out into some side swings. Okay, so you can get really fancy with it with the more practice that you have. So why are side swings great? Well, for a few different reasons. One, I mean, you get the added flair and versatility when you're jumping your ropes. So, you know, people that might be watching you, hey, look, that looks pretty cool because you're doing all these things that are like totally different from just the basic jump, right? Another thing about that is, yeah, you can learn so many different types of footwork, you know, when you're jumping rope, but no matter what footwork you're using, you see how your arms are still in place. In time, this is going to get tiring on your arms. You're going to feel a little tense and a little soreness. So you relieve some of that tension from your upper back, from your shoulders, from your arms, your triceps, because you're no longer just doing this. Doesn't matter what footwork you do, your arms are just still doing this. So now you get to free some of those muscles up. And If you're using a weighted rope, like a half pound or a 1 pounder, it's a great arm exercise. When they say jump rope is a full body exercise, they're not wrong about that. When you're using a weighted rope especially, you're gonna reap the full benefits because yes, you're obviously working out your lower body, but swinging a 1 pound rope around your body is not easy, especially when you're doing 100, 200 jumps at a time. You're going to feel that. There are different benefits, different reasons why you want to incorporate different arm movements while you're jumping your rope. So again, variation, flair, and you exercise your muscles while relieving some other muscles, okay? But yeah, that's about it. I don't want to make this too rushed. We're starting to rain right now. But yeah, let's just recap. Okay, so just to recap, again, when we are swinging our arms around our body, we're not twisting our torso. We're staying relatively in the same position. Our torso is facing forward. Your top hand is going to be the one that guides the rope, okay? Same thing on the other side. Practice on both sides. When the rope opens up, so it's typically going to be, well, it's always going to be when your top hand comes back to its respective side. So if my right hand is my top hand, the rope is going to open up when I go right. When my left hand is the top hand, the rope is going to open up when I come left. So that's going to be the opportunity to practice your toe catches and to clear the rope when you feel confident enough to clear the rope. As always, keep your shoulders relaxed. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And even with your swinging, right? So with your swinging, you're not swinging from up here, right? You're swinging low to your hips. So I'm swinging, as you can see, at my hips, okay? My swings are not happening up here. So don't do any of this, okay? Keep your hands low to your hips. All right, so that's really gonna cover it for the side swings today. We actually learned the side swings, open, and toe catch. So really we learned 3 things in today's video. But with that being said, make sure you keep active, stay healthy, and I will catch you next time on My Fitness Drive.
And show them the ropes, I'm righteous like the Pope. But if I'm provoked, I'm ready for smoke. I'm a hip-hop fanatic, never trust a skeezer and sack of cabbage. Working hard through the week and relaxing on the Sabbath. Keeping my mind immersed in literature, the land of the evil and sinister. Gun toters and drug distributors, corrupt ministers. But the realest prophet emerges, fulfilling my purpose. I reverse the curse of the serpent, nonchalant demeanor, Selena.